Alright, I will be casting Xixo and AKAWonder this game. We will be looking at Xixo's perspective. Xixo, one of the most powerful, literally, Hearthstone players in the game, I'd say. This guy's been playing super consistent across the years, and he's going to be playing up against AKAWonder, both of them playing Hermelion. I'm assuming both playing Hermelion Elves. AKAWonder playing a, interesting that AKAWonder is playing an advanced Nepharos, where Xixo's opting for a basic one. The advanced one is a little bit more about the late game, some of the bigger dudes, and this one is a lot more about being aggressive and flooding the board. It's like an elf deck for corruption. There is no raffle. Alright, so Xixo opens up with Elven Sanctuary. He gets himself a Grove Guardian on the board. He has 2 Elven Sanctuaries, so he uses one of them as a source of levels. Because using 2 of these doesn't matter. You do not get the ability twice. So you don't want to be, using this for the skill twice. Otherwise, you end up wasting it. Plus, you also waste a Nature Shrine if you use this for the... if you use this for the ability instead of using a Nature Shrine for the card draw. So AKAWonder, 2 mana open, not much to do there. The Spark of Initiative being on Xixo's side is also a really big help to him. I'll be honest with you, I think Xixo's opener is disgustingly powerful. There's an option for him to use the Summoner Druid with Spark of Initiative to play the Ambushing Sharpshooter and attack right away for 5 damage. AKAWonder under the gun. Under the gun. That is quite a powerful start for Xixo. But AKAWonder can definitely find answers. There are a few that exist. Noxious Fumes, the little rat guy, the vermin, can handle this very nicely. We'll see what AKAWonder picks up. We'll see what AKAWonder picks up. I'm half tempted to open up a second client of Spellweaver and spectate both players at once, but I don't think there's a way for me to open both. I would love to, though. That would be a great addition. I will get killed by you, but what was the card back you had next to your Noxious Fumes one? I don't remember. I will check afterwards. Alright, so Xixo picking himself up an Order Shrine to play the Cavalry Field Captain. So AKAWonder is playing a very interesting list. He plays the Obelisk of Unity, which when it comes into play draws a card, yes, but the interesting portion of it is that it lets you change your Wisdom level to another level of your choice. This was the type of card that was played back when spell combo decks were very popular, and that goes way back. Maybe AKAWonder is triple coloring. Maybe his decks are dipping in more than just the black and blue. What's interesting too is that looking at this, he banned the Rage Rush from Xixo, which indicates that he thinks he's weak to aggro. Sadly for him, Xixo's deck is not only aggressive, but the 3 of them are. And now, wow, this is ridiculous. So Xixo is forced to sacrifice a level 1 creature, which gives him 1 extra mana, which is just enough to actually enable Tireless March. That's basically the end of it, I think. Because right now what happens is AKAWonder blocks. Xixo uses Ambush Strike to buff a creature, to kill what the Harpy blocks, and then uses Hermelion's ability to redeploy. This needs to get bumped up to the level 3. This cannot stay at 2 levels, I think, balance-wise. That's my assumption. Wow, AKAWonder, with the balls of a god, recognizes that blocking would probably not make much of a difference. Xixo is just like, yeah, you know what, I'll just re-attack, who cares? And down goes AKAWonder. Hermelion takes another life. But you know what? AKAWonder also has a Hermelion left. So Xixo will have to go down against his own deck, you could say. So there's a good chance that Xixo might just get a taste of his own medicine. We will try to spectate AKAWonder's perspective. I want to see what his deck looks like. I'm also interested to see that other deck that he showed. He's gonna replay it right away. Xixo is gonna be going up with Nefaro's basic, and AKAWonder opens up with a triple colored, as expected, a triple colored deck. Has the Obelisk of Unity already set up. Uses the Divine Offering to get himself a shrine of his choice. Liking this, I kind of like this, but he's definitely looking to get Noxious Fumes. The best play here is to get Wisdom Shrines out as soon as possible to get the Obelisk of Unity in order to get that Noxious Fumes ASAP. Well done here. Well done. He opens up to 2 mana. There's no one to tell Xixo what he could do. You rarely see players, you know, use the shrines as mana gains on turn 1, since they very often want to get something to play ASAP. But in this spot, we can see that it doesn't matter what he puts, because he doesn't have a play. And it also lets him kind of spread out the plays that he wants to make past this point. Lets him maybe get some better shrines, diversify the options that he has, depending on what he thinks is going to be relevant. And now I have no doubt we will see the Wisdom Shrine come down with the Obelisk of Unity. Gets him a card draw, and gets him the ability to start changing that Wisdom into anything he wants. Which will give him the ability to play Noxious Fumes starting next turn. So he will put a card at the bottom of his deck. I have no doubt it should be something with double colored. What did he throw back? What did I miss? I missed what he threw back. Oh, he threw back the shrine that forces the opponent to sacrifice a creature. That is right. That is actually probably a correct decision. So this should be a lot more manageable for AKAWonder, because even though it is an aggressive deck, it's not a deck that's going to burst you unless it gets to very, very late turns and ends up using Word of Pain on you to deal as much damage to you as they have corruption levels. Yeah, that should kind of work out. Kind of liking this. This is a play that... You look at this amount of options, like the amount of options that AKAWonder is playing. This is basically the type of deck that I love the most. They, however, tend to be very, I don't want to say inconsistent, but they really suffer. When you look at the consistency of other decks like aggro decks, it's kind of hard sometimes to justify playing this type of stuff. It is, however, the most fun that I've found. So you saw here, the Obelisk of Unity was used to turn into black, or corruption, in order to make Noxious Fumes a bit more usable. What's interesting here, and I love that, is that AKAWonder gets to play a real Corruption Shrine next turn, and off of it, use the Tombs of the Damned to summon zombies for the rest of the game. I like Blood Witch Harpy in a spot like this, though. I think a lot more than anything else. I think this is going to have to be his play. Anything but Blood Witch does not snowball fast enough. So Blood Witch Harpy again, a reminder what it does, it forces the opponent to sacrifice a level 1 creature, yourself as well, but usually you use it for the opponent, and that gives them 1 extra mana, but that's usually not an issue. So Xixo will be able to sacrifice the Infected Survivor, if he wants, and he probably wants. Gets him a free zombie when the Infected Survivor dies, and the Blood Witch can do some decent blocking, but Xixo probably has tools to kill her right away, like a -1. You get an extra corruption level, give her -2/-2, and then buff a creature of your choice, then sacrifice the Plague Vermin. It kills the Blood Witch, lets you deal a ton of damage. Very powerful plays there. Yeah, see, if he chose to sacrifice this for corruption, there's no way this Harpy's alive at the end of the turn. Goodbye, Harpy. But we will see the play. There's a lot of things that Xixo could do, but this is very indicative of that line of play. Simply a Noxious Fumes. So this leaves Xixo with an open 3 mana at the end of this attack. There's nothing AKAWonder wants to block, knowing full well that whatever he does, the Vermin is going to kill him. I guess there's a way you could block the rotting remains to avoid taking the 3 damage. Because either way, you're losing the Harpy to the Plague Vermin. So it's really a matter of balancing whether or not you think you'll have the answer tomorrow. Goodness gracious! Xixo coming down with Tombs of the Damned. Ugh, what a tough spot for AKAWonder. So... this, triple coloring is just this is showing you why people tend to play decks like Hermelion that are so much more consistent. I mean, look at this. This is essentially you hoping to top deck an answer. So this 2-3, very high speed, tough to deal with if you're Xixo, but all you have to do is reduce its speed by 1 and attack it with the Rotting Remains. You're forcing a trade. The opponent has only 1 mana, which doesn't let him do anything in this spot. Xixo just doesn't care. Doesn't need to do anything. The only thing that Xixo dies to is a Cataclysm, or loses his board to would be a Cataclysm, but there is no way this can even happen. There is just no way this can even happen. So, he recognizes that he has to kill the summoned zombie, otherwise Xixo gets additional zombies off of these 2 Flesh Sculptors. So, very well played here by AKAWonder. Still needs to find answers, has none. Has none whatsoever. A mutant would probably do a lot of work. Even then, even a mutant barely scratches the surface of an answer. Wow, the Shrine Flood. Okay. I don't think I've ever seen that many shrines in a hand. Ever. How many shrines does AKAWonder run? We have to figure that out, because this either means that he runs very, like, a normal amount and just got completely land screwed. Actually, you know what? I know what happened. He divine offered like 3 times, because the cards that he had in hand were not useful. So that explains probably at least 2 of these shrines. So even if he doesn't run, you know, an overly high amount of them, it's still pretty solid. So Xixo ends up going 2-0